When we think about a hockey coach, we usually picture someone running drills or drawing up plays. But what if their most important job has nothing to do with what happens on the ice? We're about to dive into some really cool research that explores how the role of a youth hockey coach is changing into something so much bigger. And this quote right here, it gets straight to the heart of it. This came directly from a volunteer coach in the study, and they're pointing out this massive gap, not in hockey skills, but in leadership training. That one comment really sets the stage for everything we're about to explore. And that's not just some random opinion. That's the voice of a real person, a volunteer, who's shaping the next generation and feels like they're missing a key piece of the puzzle. It's exactly this challenge that the study wanted to understand. So, that brings us to the big question behind all of this. What were these volunteer coaches actually going through? What kind of training did they get? What did they feel was missing? And, what are the day-to-day challenges they're really up against? To find the answers, this incredible partnership came together between researchers at Cape Breton University and Hockey Nova Scotia. So this wasn't some academic exercise happening in a vacuum. It was a project rooted in the community for the community. Officially, the goal was to really dig deep into the coaches' experiences with leadership and what we might call cultural training. Basically, how prepared are they to lead diverse groups of kids in the world we live in today? Okay. So, if you want to get real answers, you have to talk to the people who are actually doing the work, right? So let's take a quick look at the coaches who stepped up and shared their stories for this project. In total, researchers sat down for in-depth conversations with 25 volunteer minor hockey coaches. Their average age was right around 40 years old. And get this, on average, they had over 11 years of coaching experience. So we are not talking about rookies here. These are dedicated, passionate volunteers who have been doing this for a long time. The approach here was what's called a qualitative study, which really just means it was all about deep conversations, not just stats. They talked with 19 male and 6 female coaches, both online and in person. By asking just 5 open-ended questions, they got these incredibly rich personal stories from coaches who work with kids all the way from 5 to 18 years old. All right, so they had all these amazing conversations. What did they actually find out? This is where it gets really, really interesting. A few key challenges started popping up over and over again. The analysis brought some powerful themes to the surface. And it's worth noting that the insights from the 6 female coaches were especially eye-opening when it came to things like building relationships and creating genuinely safe spaces for the players. The first huge theme was relationship building. This coach felt that a lot of their peers were missing that fundamental skill of just connecting with players as people. That's a pretty big deal. And wow, this next quote just hits the nail on the head. A coach pointed out that some people are using these intense, high-level coaching strategies on 9-year-olds. It shows a huge disconnect in understanding basic child development and what a young kid actually needs. And this one really speaks to the reality of coaching today. Coaches are on the front lines, helping kids navigate things like anxiety and trying to create spaces where every single player feels safe and supported. I mean, that is a massive responsibility. So the researchers found these significant gaps. But here's the best part. They didn't just write a report and walk away. Nope. The most exciting part of this whole thing is how they took those insights and turned them into action. Using everything they heard from the coaches, the team developed 4 concrete resources to fill those gaps. We're talking a brand new coach toolkit, targeted education sessions, a podcast, and even a detailed ebook. These are real tools for real coaches. For example, check this out. They actually launched the Beyond the Ice podcast. It's a way to take these crucial conversations about modern coaching and share them with absolutely everyone. And that coach toolkit we mentioned, it was built to directly address the challenges the coaches brought up. It's packed with resources on relationship building, communication, and really understanding child development. It's a perfect example of research leading to a practical, useful solution. When you put it all together, this entire project pushes us to think way beyond just X's and O's. It's about reframing the coach's role as a mentor and a leader. And that leaves us with a pretty powerful question to chew on. If a coach's greatest impact is on a player's life, not just their game, how do we actually equip them for that incredible responsibility?